All right, so you got that email right. The Salesforce Spring 24 release notes are here.
Oh, yeah, definitely saw that this morning.
Hundreds of pages.
Yeah, no kidding. Who has time to read all of that?
But that's why you're here with us. We're diving into your Spring 24 release notes, pulling out the coolest, the most impactful updates.
Exactly. We're cutting through the noise and getting right to what matters.
Think of this as your cheat sheet for what's new and how it can actually help you.
Your shortcut to all those water cooler conversations about the next big thing in Salesforce.
And we all know how much fun those are.
Oh, yeah, those conversations can be a lot.
So let's start with the big hitters this release, the ones everyone's talking about.
Okay, for sure. So, like Einstein Copilot, this has been a game changer.
But what does that actually look like, though, for me on like a Monday morning?
So picture this Einstein Copilot is drafting your emails, it's summarizing records, it's answering your questions, all right there in your workflow.
Okay, so no more jumping between 5 different screens.
Exactly. It's all right there.
I like it. And speaking of making life easier, what about dynamic forms on mobile?
It's finally here. No more workarounds.
It feels like we've been asking about that one for years.
I know, right? So now you get all the power of dynamic forms, but on the go.
Nice. And a feature that I'm particularly excited about, data cloud integration for Experience Cloud sites. It's in beta, but
Oh,
still.
yeah. This one is going to be huge for personalized experiences.
Because now we can finally connect all that customer data, right?
Exactly. We're talking real-time unified data from Data Cloud right there on your Experience Cloud sites.
So no more data silos, just a single view of your customer.
It's going to be a game changer, and we'll talk more about that later in the deep dive.
Okay, awesome. So it sounds like personalization is a big theme for this release.
Oh, absolutely.
Which makes sense with all the updates we're seeing with Data Cloud.
Data Cloud is the key to unlocking so much potential in the platform.
And it sounds like they've made some major improvements this time around.
They really have new features, new functionality. It's exciting stuff.
Well, let's dive into all of it.
Let's do it.
You know, while we're talking about dynamic forms coming to mobile, that actually came directly from Idea Exchange.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Users actually suggested that, and Salesforce listened.
That's right. And it wasn't the only one. A lot of the enhancements in this release came from Idea Exchange.
It's so cool they actually use that feedback.
It really is. It shows that they're listening to what we actually need.
Totally. Okay, but you mentioned time is money earlier.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the ways we can actually save time with this release.
Like what?
Well, for starters, what about that update to Lightning Report Builder? We can finally rearrange multiple columns at once.
Oh my gosh, yes, finally.
Right, no more dragging and dropping columns one by one.
I know, it's the little things.
Seriously. And speaking of time savers, have you heard about the Salesforce Scheduler update?
With the concurrency and shifts.
Yeah. Tell me more about that.
So basically, it lets service resources handle multiple customers in the same time slot.
Wait, so instead of like blocking out a full hour for each appointment?
Exactly. You can optimize based on what the customer actually needs.
So like a quick question versus a complex issue.
Exactly. And it helps you use your resources way more efficiently.
That's brilliant. Okay, so what about automation? Any cool flow builder updates?
Oh, tons. Input validation, waiting for engagement events, you name it.
So basically, if you can dream it, you can automate it.
Pretty much. And of course, we can't forget about security.
Right, because what's a Salesforce release without some security enhancements?
Exactly. They take it very seriously. And there are some good updates with Shield platform encryption.
Oh, good to know. So they're making key management even easier.
Yes, much more streamlined.
I like it. But let's zoom out for a second and look at the bigger picture here.
Okay.
What's coming down the pipeline? What did we learn about the future of Salesforce from these release notes?
Well, one thing that kind of surprised me was the Salesforce for Outlook retirement.
Oh yeah, in 2027. That feels like both a long time from now and also right around the corner.
I know, right? But it's good to be aware of so you can start planning.
For sure, and they'll be providing migration options, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, good to know. Anything else we should be thinking about for the future?
Well, MFA auto-enablement is being fully rolled out with this release.
So no more excuses for not using multi-factor authentication.
Nope, it's going to be automatic for everyone.
I love that. And one more thing I saw, Salesforce Functions is being retired.
Yeah, they're still figuring out the details in that one.
But it's something to keep an eye on.
Definitely start thinking about how that might impact you.
Okay, so it sounds like Spring 24 is not just about what we can do today, but also laying the groundwork for the future.
Yeah, there are some pretty big changes coming down the pipeline.
And speaking of big changes, we have to talk more about Data Cloud.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be huge.
I feel like it has the potential to really transform how we use Salesforce.
Absolutely. It changes the game when it comes to personalization and customer insights.
So break it down for me. Why is everyone so excited about Data Cloud?
It all comes down to having a single source of truth for your customer data.
Okay, I like that. A single source of truth.
And Data Cloud pulls in data from everywhere, sales, service, marketing, you name it.
So it's like finally putting all the pieces of the puzzle together.
Exactly. And then you can use that unified data to create these incredible personalized experiences.
And they've added some really cool new features in this release, right?
They did things like batch data transforms and AI model predictions.
So we can actually DO something with all that data.
Exactly. We're talking real business value here.
Now, this is what I'm talking about. This is how we take things to the next level.
And the best part is they're making it even easier to get started with Data Cloud.
Oh, how so?
In spring 24, it's going to be enabled automatically as soon as it's licensed on an org.
So no more complex setup or configuration?
Nope, just instant access to the power of Data Cloud.
Wow. Okay, so we've covered a ton of ground here, from Einstein Copilot to dynamic forms on mobile to Data Cloud.
It's a lot to be excited about.
And we haven't even touched on everything.
We really haven't. There's just so much in this release.
But that's kind of the point, right?
What do you mean?
Well, we don't want to just tell you what's new. We want you to go out there and explore for yourselves.
Yeah, find what gets you excited.
Exactly, because ultimately these release notes are for you.
They're the key to unlocking all the cool new stuff Salesforce has to offer.
And they can be overwhelming at first.
700 pages?
But don't worry, we've got you covered. We've got those release notes, right?
Yeah, 700 pages, though.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But don't be intimidated.
Yeah.
Use that table of contents.
Yeah.
It's your roadmap.
Yeah, just like pick and choose what's relevant for you.
Exactly. And here's a pro tip bookmark, the new and changed items for developers section.
Even if you're not a developer,
Seriously.
it's a goldmine of technical details, even for us non-technical folks.
Yeah, you'd be surprised what you find in there.
It's amazing how much they pack into these releases.
Right. We talked about Sales Cloud and Service Cloud, but there's also stuff for like every industry.
Seriously, even automotive and healthcare?
Oh, yeah, and all those flow builder updates.
Oh, don't even get me started.
Same.
I could automate my whole life now.
I know, right? But it's really cool to see how much thought they're putting into the whole platform.
It's not just about adding features. It's about like a vision for the future.
Totally. And this release really feels like a turning point.
How so?
Well, it's like you're saying AI is here to stay.
Right.
Real-time data is the future, and we want to make your life as easy as possible.
Yeah, it's about working smarter, not harder.
Exactly. And it's exciting.
It really is.
So as we wrap up here, any final thoughts?
Dive into those release notes, find what gets you excited, and don't be afraid to experiment.
I love that this is your chance to really shape how you use Salesforce.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe you'll even come up with the next big idea exchange submission.
That's right. The future of Salesforce is in your hands.
So go make it happen.
And we'll be here to help you every step of the way.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
Until next time.